Hey, how's it going? Today I'm talking about should you be doing squats and lunges for your knee injury?
This is Running to the Castle, a podcast for injury-prone Run Disney runners on a journey to running magical miles. Join me, Dr. Allie, as I share the secrets I've gathered as a runner, doctor of physical therapy, and coach. You'll learn the exact ways I get my clients to the castle strong without feeling broken or held together with KT tape as they cross the finish line.
I've lost count of how many times I see squats and lunges recommended to runners in Facebook group when they have runner's knee, IT band syndrome, meniscus problems, arthritis, just knee pain in general. And you may be thinking, oh, if this is how Dr. Allie is starting this episode, squats and lunges must be the wrong thing to do. Don't stop listening yet. There's a lot more nuance to just saying, do this one exercise, do this other exercise for your injury. If it was that easy, physical therapy as a profession would not exist. Now, I don't answer this question in my DMs anymore. I will gladly take these questions and make a podcast episode about it, so keep those questions coming. But I don't answer them because of all of this nuance. There are questions that need to be answered before you start doing any kind of exercise. But since we're talking about squats and lunges today, I'll talk about those. So some of the questions are things like, do you like squats and lunges? Do they make your knee pain worse? Do you have pain doing squats and lunges? Do you have knee pain or other pain after doing squats and lunges? Do you get your pain all the time? Is it just at the beginning of a run? Just at the end of a run? Is it only a few hours after you're done running? Does the pain go away when you do a pain management technique? What does your running schedule look like? How many days a week are you running? How many days a week are you cross-training? How many rest days are you taking? What phase of the running journey are you in? What did the first 4 to 6 weeks of your last training cycle look like? How long have you had the pain? Does the pain get worse when you sit down or get up from a chair? Can you get up and down from the floor easily and pain-free? Can you do squats and lunges properly? What does the rest of your strength routine look like? I'm sure there are more questions, but those are the ones that came right off the top of my head when I was thinking about this episode. See, squats and lunges might be the right call for you, but to make sure, we need to dive into lots of these questions. And that's because those questions help identify things like if it's a weakness problem causing your pain, how irritated your injury is, and others. And knowing what the rest of your strength routine looks like is important. You need to make sure you have a well-rounded strength training program. Often, injury-prone runners fall into the trap of thinking the painful area is the weak area. And it's no fault of your own, because you probably went to the doctor and they said your knee hurts because you're weak. And then they either gave you no answers besides strength train, or they gave you a list of outdated exercises that included squats and lunges. But doctors, especially primary care physicians, they don't have the time in life or in the clinic to know more. And honestly, they shouldn't, because there's a whole other healthcare profession designated for that. Physical therapy. But many runners won't get a referral for physical therapy because the doctor thinks that only bedridden people need physical therapy. And if somebody is relatively mobile and can Google things, they don't need physical therapy because they can find exercises themselves. So then you get some of the information and you try and go at it alone. And if you Google exercises for knee pain, you get low-level exercises for mobility, which are important to do, but they don't feel like you're doing that much. So you Google advanced exercises and you get squats, single leg squats, step-ups, backward stepping lunge, and front stepping lunge. I literally just Googled that and that's what came up. But are those the end goal or are they the starting point? Where should you start? Should you start with the low-level ones that feel like they aren't having any effect? Most runners think that they really need to feel it for it to work. So they'll go to those advanced exercises like the squats, the lunges, the single leg squats, the things that I just listed off. But like I said, are those the end goal or are those the starting point? Dr. Google can't tell you because there's no assessment in there. And you can't Google it because Google doesn't ask you questions back to get you thinking and to prompt you for more information. That's why I ask so many questions all the time with my clients, whether we're working one-on-one together or in Stronger, Faster, Finisher or one of my other programs, because I'm not going to just give you exercises to do. I mean, there are 10 staple exercises I do believe all runners should be doing, but if you can't do them, we have a conversation about them and modify them and add on depending on what your strength goals are beyond those 10 exercises. But should you be doing squats and lunges for your knee injury? Yes, no, maybe. It depends. Use the questions from earlier in this episode to go through and start critically thinking about your knee injury to help decide if you should be doing squats and lunges. I will say, right now, if squats and lunges bug your knees, then they aren't the exercises for you right now. And if you don't like squats and lunges, they aren't the exercise for you. And if you want more help with strength training as an injury-prone runner, I'm hosting a free workshop on March 5th. Click the link in the show notes to register today. In it, you'll learn what exercises to do, mistakes to avoid, how much weight or resistance to use, and scheduling strength workouts around your running schedule. I'd love to see you there. Register at the link in the show notes. If you've ever wondered, what exercises should I do for my runner's knee, IT band, Achilles, plantar fasciitis, shin splints? I invite you to join me on a free workshop, Strength Training for Injury-Prone RunDisney Runners. In this workshop, you will learn exactly what exercises to do for your injury, how much weight to actually use so that you make progress without flaring up the injury, and overall how to coordinate this and still run at the same time. If you're interested in that, I'm hosting this free workshop March 3rd at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Go ahead and sign up at the link in the show notes. As always, thanks so much for listening. That's all for now. Talk to you soon.